to inspire and reward
billions of business souls
to gamify their life,
to share products and services
they care deeply about,
so they experience
the magical power
of referral marketing.
Welcome to today's episode of the NaXum podcast, where we talk about and explore the ever-changing landscape of the direct selling business world. And today we're going to dive in and talk about a specific question of how can I adapt and evolve my company's offerings to keep up with changing consumer trends and preferences. In this fast-paced and dynamic business environment, consumer preferences can shift rapidly, driven by technological advancements, cultural shifts, and evolving marketing demands, right, Sir Ben? And I want to know, as a business owner and leader, how can people do this exactly from your perspective, Sir Ben?
You know, there's a couple different pieces of research here that are really helpful. There's even tools like, I think Facebook's engine is just a great example of this. I think if you hired any sort of firm or consulting group to say, okay, we want to understand, who our people are that are buying from us and what they're doing, a lot of companies will say, well, let's take your data and run it through Facebook's tools to understand who your target audience is and their likes and their preferences. So if you actually built like a custom audience would be that tool inside of Facebook with your current database, you'd be able to understand, oh, wow, this is who our members are. This is what their other likes and interests are. And that will unlock a lot of data to you. And one of the pieces that's a powerful tool, the second to that, is once you've created a custom audience of your own database, inside of tools like Facebook, you can identify lookalike audiences. And that's literally pools of people that have the similar likes and interests to your most successful customers, the people who are buying your products and services, who, if only they knew you existed, would be buying your products and services. And that's what we have to remember is many times as you're looking through your company's offerings and you're understanding what people's trends are and how their preferences are changing and who they are and think of their interests. Yes, there's a whole bunch of market research that can be done there, but many times the way you're going to expand your customer base to really know the answers to those questions, because a lot of people are asking this, are saying, even in direct sales, usually our scale is so small of our customer subset. Oh, you have 10,000 customers, great. Oh, you have 30,000 customers, great. Well, other brands have millions of customers in the space. And so before we get to all the research on just our current customer group, I always think about, well, how do we reach other people that are just like our customers, and if only they knew we existed, would want to be a part of what we're doing. And using a lookalike audience tool is a really powerful way to profile your current members and say, who else is just like our current members that if only they knew we existed, would want to buy from us. And once you've done that, the next thing I would measure is what are the activities your affiliates or ambassadors or influencers are willing to do and not willing to do to reach new customers. And the best way to do that is to give them predictive tools. Here at NaXum, we built the predictive action application way back in 2018. And over the last 5 years have truly optimized this platform to feel like a top leader sitting next to the newest person on the team suggesting what to do next. And what I love about the data that comes out of the system is it feels like a sales enablement tool to the field, Gaelle. But the data for the corporate team says, okay, out of all that stuff we suggested people do, all that stuff we suggested they say, out of all that content we invited them to share on social media, here's the subset. Here's the 20% of actions they did. Here's the 20% of images and videos they shared. Here's the 20% of training videos they not only watched but finished. And we get to look at that information and say, okay, how do we let go of what's not serving our field and double down on what is? And so if you want to have an advantage over your peers who are also running referral marketing companies in the space, you have to look at way more data than just sales, enrollments, and subscriptions to be successful. You want to start to get into the real behaviors of what your field reps are willing to say and not willing to say, and out of the stuff they're willing to do, what's actually growing sales. One of the things we can put in the show notes, Gaelle, for today's podcast, for those of you that haven't seen it yet, we published a viral trends report from the Direct Selling Executives Forum back at the beginning of the year. And it's still incredibly relevant, even though here we are in June today as we're filming this. It's still incredibly relevant information that you can apply right now to your direct selling business. So we'll make sure in the show notes we put a link to that report. And if you'd like to discuss anything in that report, do reach out to our team. We'd be glad to set a time, even one-on-one with you, to speak to the specifics of your business and how we see type of technology making a difference in how you make decisions as an executive team. Gaelle, thank you so much for having me out here today to unpack the topic. Appreciate you, grateful for you. Thank you so much for hosting the podcast today.
Thank you, Sir Ben. And that wraps up another insightful episode of the NaXum podcast. We hope everybody found valuable information, practical tips on how to adapt and evolve your company's offerings to meet the consumer's changing trends and preferences. Remember, in today's dynamic business landscape, staying nimble, responsive to evolving consumer needs is key to maintaining a competitive edge. Now, if you're interested, you can always visit naxumtour.com to discuss your business with CEO Ben Dixon and other sales executives here at NaXum. And you can listen to the NaXum podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and YouTube podcasts. We also do live streams every Wednesday on Facebook and LinkedIn. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.